going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Late Vibe Show, talking all things Man United. And today I've got some gentlemen, some fresh faces. You know what I mean? Because we want to see different opinions on the channel. Mr. B, it's been a while. Hope you're well. From United Agenda. He's got a Ten Hag. What would you kind of call that? Poster? You know?
Yeah,
what would you say
poster.
that is?
We'll call it a poster. We'll call it a poster.
We'll call it a poster. Okay. So it means you're a Ten Hag avid supporter. But how are you, first and foremost, on this Tuesday evening?
I'm blessed, man. I'm glad to. I'm pleased for the invite, man. I'm blessed, brother.
Oh man, big up to you, man. Big up to Real Kofi B, man. You know what I'm saying? Big up, man. I see your work on TikTok or whatnot. Big up to you for coming on, bro.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Let's get into it, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Ange, how are you, brother? How are you?
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Good. All good, man. All good.
Thanks for having me on, man.
And we've got Brian. Always, bro. And we've got Brian, Elite Pundit, you know what I mean, out and about. You know what I'm saying? How are you, Brian?
I'm good. Can everybody hear me? Just want to make sure my audio is good since I'm in the car.
You're good, bro.
Yeah. All
Thanks.
good. If you can flip it, that only thing you could is flip it a little bit. That'll be great, man. But big up to you as always. But let's get into this, man. We've got a lot of things to discuss, man. Ten Hag, it feels like it is the end of an era. There's some news coming out today. A lot of journalists coming out with some news regarding his future and basically talking towards a possible exit. Man United are weighing up Erik Ten Hag's future at Manchester United. There was also some news coming out saying that Man United and other clubs are looking at Roberto De Zerbi as potential next manager, who will have to pay compensation upwards of 12 million to secure hire from Brighton in the summer. De Zerbi admirers at Manchester United, and there was some other news about basically saying Man United have approached by representative of several managers believe Erik Ten Hag could be removed from his post at the start of the season. Let's get Mr. B. Obviously, you're Ten Hag in. Is this good news for you in terms of what you kind of feel this year? Are you really kind of worried that it is the beginning of the end? How are you feeling towards the news that come out this evening?
I am worried, but like I've always said, nobody's job should be guaranteed. He needs to perform. He needs to keep his level. I say keep his level high. It hasn't really been that high, to be fair, but he needs to, keep it. Don't drop off before the season finishes and see where it goes. The fact that they are looking means that he can't relax. He can't rest on his laurels.
You know what it is, though? When you look at it, though, Mr. B, like, do you believe people have been harsh on him? Because obviously, Ten Hag is coming, difficult job. Do you believe it's one of them where everyone's, because of the injuries and whatnot, people have been harsh on him? Like, what? Or do you still believe that he can turn it around? Do you believe he can turn it around, though?
I still do. I'm stubborn like that, though, and maybe it's gone past the point where I shouldn't be, but I still believe that there's some of the stuff that he's done, cleaning out all of trying to get it as a proper football club, the best he can do at what he was dealing with. Those kind of things I respect. The fact that he's got discipline. These players have been taking the mickey for too long. I respect that as well. Yeah, formation-wise, and he has messed up. But we did win a cup last year and get to a final. I know it's a long time ago. Football is, memories are very short, but people seem to forget what we did. So no, I still want him to stay. I still want him to stay and be given a chance with a proper foundation around him, so he could just do his specific job.
Kofi, what are you saying, man? Ten Hag looks
Bro,
like the job's. Yeah.
You know what is it? Like, I'm in 2 months. Same with Mr. B. Like, last season was nice. You get me? It was nice. Won a trophy, got to a final. It was cool. But this season, bro, it's bad. Like, the worst point for me in the season was when we lost 3-0 to Bournemouth, like, at home. I was just thinking, what am I seeing on the pitch? Do you know what I mean? So at the same time, I do get what he's saying, because, like, I feel like any manager, first season get top 4, next season we don't get top 4, sack. Same thing with LVG, Mourinho, Ole. It's like we're like a yo-yo club now. Do you know what I mean? So I do want to stay with someone for a bit of stability, but at the same time, bro, what we're seeing on the pitch is not good enough. So I'm in two minds, bro. I don't know, man.
The thing is, though, it's one of them. Can you see this even? You know what I mean? Because he's got players that he's wanted. Yeah, players maybe he's looked at and thought, haven't gotten maybe Harry Kane, Kim Min Jae, but he has got a lot of what he's actually wanted at the football club. So it's like, what is it that you believe, though, Kofi, that he should be? Like, you think there's an element of chance that he can change it around, like, and he should be given a little bit more time. What's that little bit of something that's telling you, yo, give him a little bit of time?
I'll be
what
real,
I'm
bro.
saying?
I'll be real. The only thing I'm clinging on to is last season, bro. You get me? Because last season I felt something. I could see it, bro. I could see it. I even said this season we'll finish second, bro. I said that. I hold my hands up. I was very wrong. But you can see where I was coming from. We played great football, but I can't lie to you. The injuries have killed him this season. But at the same time, no squad depth, bro. So it's tough, man.
And chat to us, man. What are you saying, man? What are you saying?
You know what's crazy, brother? Like, you know, at the start, you're like, the Ten Hag era might come to an end. I think this is the worst era, the worst manager since post Sir Alex Ferguson. The worst in terms of, he's the least inspiring manager. The product on the pitch is the least like exciting. When he talks, I want to go to sleep. Like there is, this is what I don't get about the Ten Hag in crowd. They'll tell you things like Arteta had time. They'll even say that he doesn't have his own team after spending $400 million. But then when you ask him, what are the qualities, the actual qualities that you like in Ten Hag, they struggle to constructively put, anything together. I don't get it with him. He's uninspiring. He might be great with a bunch of Dutch kids that are 20, 21 on their first contract. But when you're dealing with $200,000 a week salary players, $300,000 a week salary players, you need to have a vision. You need to get him excited that he can't do that. Like everybody, they told the players say he's got no charisma. I'm not saying that all the players are faultless, and I'm not saying that they should stay another. Rashford should get another contract or whatever. But Ten Hag has major faults, and the sooner this era comes to an end, the better.
You know what's mad, yeah? The discourse around Arteta today was quite funny, man. I couldn't understand it. I really, really couldn't. I mean, Brian, you got to back me up on this one, but the process of Arteta was different, man. He didn't start off with this squad. This squad is a top. Well, it was a decent squad enough to build from. Yeah, it's not great now. We won a lot of players there, but the squad that Arteta had and the squad that Ten Hag had, they're night and day, man. They're night and day, Brian. Let's be honest. And it hasn't improved us.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you should compare any real build. Like, all real builds are different. Like the real build that Chelsea are going through right now is different from what Manchester United have right now. And the real build Liverpool did under Klopp, completely different to what we're going through. We are 10 years in the trenches post Sir Alex Ferguson. It's not the same thing. And we've spent over £1 billion. So it's not the same. You can't compare it. What Ten Hag inherited, I don't think was a great squad, because the season we finished, we had our worst season ever. And then Ten Hag came in. But you can't ignore the fact that he spent £400 million. To make it worse, right? If he had signed players he had no relationship with, I think he would have more people backing him. The frustration comes from when he signed players like he knew Anthony, he knew Amrabat, he looked at Mounts when he was at Ajax. He looked at all these players, so he's kind of attached to these signings. So when people are criticizing him for the tactics and maybe want to just blame the club for the signings, it's hard to do that. And for me, the biggest issue I have with Ten Hag is you came into the Premier League and you said the mistake Pep Guardiola made in his first season was underestimating the physicality of the Premier League. And you go in and you sign Anthony. I like Martinez, but you go in and sign a defender that I'm taller than. So it doesn't make any sense to me when you do those kind of things. Then you make it worse. I think Onana has been up and down, but he's not exactly the biggest goalkeeper Manchester United has ever had. So these are the kind of things that I look at like, okay, how can I now trust him going forward? What are his recommendations going to be when INEOS comes in and says, okay, we want this player, we want X player, we want this player? What's Ten Hag going to say if those players don't align with what he wants? Is that going to be a problem? So at the end of the day, they are grown-ups in the room now. We are bringing in people from Manchester City. We're bringing people from Newcastle. We're bringing people who know the Premier League. I don't think Ten Hag is... he's not going to impress those people enough for me to stay in the job. Because it's going to come down to, most of the times in these really high-level executive positions, how well do you impress these people who are serious professionals personally? And if you watch the Ratcliffe interview, when he was talking about, oh, are you going to keep Ten Hag? He was like, well, he didn't come out and say, well, I'm going to back him. He said, we'll give him some time. We'll see how that's going to play out. So at the end of the day, I don't see Ratcliffe as a man that's going to waste his time, because Manchester City are not slowing down. Liverpool are not going to slow down. Arsenal are getting better. Tottenham are getting better. Manchester United don't have the luxury of saying, okay, we're going to go another 3 years of a process, because we've already given Ten Hag time to establish something. We are playing one game a week now. We have so much time for training, and each time the team looks worse as the season is going further and further. And I'm someone that likes Ten Hag. But I think two things has killed him. He's underestimated the physicality of the Premier League, and he doesn't really have a philosophy of his own. He came into Ajax, and Ajax has a way that they play throughout the academy. He imprinted some things, but that underlying foundation of how Ajax played is what made his own tactics look better. But now in Manchester United, where he has established something from the scratch, where we didn't have a style under Ole, I don't care what anyone says, we didn't have a good style under Ole. He then has to build everything, kind of like how Pep completely... You can't compare what Pep is doing with what Pellegrini had left at Manchester City, even Arsenal with Arteta. Ten Hag was supposed to come in and set that foundation. And he comes in this season, whatever he did last season, he threw it out the window and decided to start something completely anew. And it hasn't worked. We were killed in the first game against Wolves, completely destroyed.
Yeah. The writing's been on the wall. Yeah.
So I look at that, the first game against Wolves, where we had most of our players, compared to now, the holes in the team are ridiculous. Nothing has improved. It's getting worse. So that's kind of where I'm at with Ten Hag. I think he's a good coach, but he's a good coach in a team that already has a foundation. So if you went to somewhere like Brighton, he might actually be able to do something there. But Manchester United, where we need someone to come in and build this team, he's going to struggle.
Big up to JJ. I said smash the like button and show Saeed some love. Big up to you, my bro. Saeed, will you give the new manager time or sack him? Well, for me, it's one of them where if I don't see improvement, then I think he should be sacked. That's what it comes down to, man. I'm very ruthless for me, man. If I don't see a good style of football and I don't see improvement and I don't see him going anywhere, that's when I will say, you know what I mean? I think it's time to go. Other clubs do that. Bayern Munich have done it and shown they've had success. So INEOS can be able to do that. But ultimately, though, you know, you have to get rid of the deadwood. But also, if you come in and want to play a style of football, and I believe, you know what, he's doing something that's positive, I'll get behind that. But if you're coming in like Ten Hag said, and you don't want to play the style of football for Ajax, then obviously it's like almost like saying, you know what I mean? Why are you here? Get out, man. What are you doing here? Well, what benefit do you have for me? You know what was there. So that's what it comes down to. Big up to Sully says, for me, the Mount signing started my doubts for Ten Hag. Also, I don't think he's good enough for long term. No point keeping him. You know what it is, though? When you look at the team, though, guys, it's an open discussion. Like, you know, there's not much improvement on our style. You know what I mean? I see this excuse of injuries coming back in and you'll see a better team. But really, guys, are we really believing that? You know, that injuries, when they come back, you know, the style will be different. Because I personally, for me, have seen evidence when he's had his full 11 that we haven't played well. And that has been Wolves to start the season and whatnot. Like, I haven't seen that. Like, the proof normally is in the pudding, but I haven't seen that, guys. I don't know what you guys think.
We play better with our full 11, but we don't play good. Do you know what I mean? Obviously we play better. You're gonna play better if you have better players, but it's not up to the level of Man City, Liverpool, all these guys. So at the same time, I don't know, man. I feel like it's time for him to just move on, to be honest with you. I don't think he's cut out for the Premier League. I think he'll do well in another league, but Premier League, it's not for Ten Hag, in my opinion, man.
The thing, did we? So a lot of people talk about last year. Yeah? Did we actually play good football last year? Like we didn't score more than 1 or 2 goals most of the season. Like, and when you talk to a lot of people that say he had a good first season, which results-wise I think he did. He did okay. But people always refer to the Tottenham game last season, and they refer to the Barcelona game where we played good football. But those 2 performances were anomalies. They weren't the norm. Like, it's not like we played that every week. Like, before the World Cup, we really struggled. We were, scraping out 1-0s here. We lost to 6-3 to City. We obviously lost to Brentford away 4-0. And then after the World Cup, there was a period of 2 to 3 months where we had really good results. And and then we ended up winning the Carabao Cup. And then after the Carabao Cup, remember the drop-off, the significant drop-off after the Carabao Cup last year? So actually, the majority of last season, our performances were crap. Like, it wasn't good. And there was only this period straight after the World Cup. I think a lot of teams were getting used to playing club football again. And then we got a march on them and we played pretty well. But we didn't play good football last year. And then he tried to change his style a little bit more high pressing, playing with the 2 number 10s to start the season. And he struggled. Like, yeah, for me, he's made me miss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He really has. Honestly,
he's got an interview tomorrow. There's an interview tomorrow, by the way. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer interview tomorrow on the overlap. Don't know if you guys.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, that's going to be good.
It's going to be very good. It's going to be very good.
Honestly, so I think our best 2 periods of football post Sir Alex Ferguson was when Ole first took over. That first, remember that first 8 to 10. Yeah, and then post. Remember when we restarted football after lockdown?
Yeah, the NHS era.
That was a good. Martial was on fire. I remember Martial was on fire.
Yeah.
Greenwood was on fire, and Bruno was linking up with Rashford.
Also, Mourinho, 2017-18, we were winning 4-0.
4-0
FC. That was saucy football. That was saucy football, man.
And what are you lot saying though? If Ten Hag gets sacked, would you take Ole as an interim manager to end the season, or what are you lot saying?
No, not for me.
Just keep Ten Hag to the end of the season.
I say run it back.
Yeah, Ten Hag to the end of the season. I'm with
that. And then that's it. That's what you're saying. Ten Hag to the, regardless of what happens, because obviously, and then he's definitely gone. So is he gone as soon as the season finishes and they have the new manager and he's named, or is it a whole summer of not knowing anything?
No. You know what I respect about Ten Hag? He hasn't given up yet. Like, if this was Mourinho, he would have started calling out the players already. He's like, Ten Hag knows he's getting sacked. Like, anybody that thinks 100% he's getting sacked, but he's still fighting, hasn't given up. I respect him as a man for doing that. I really do. If this was Mourinho, he would have called out everybody at the club, so he can take his money and leave. But yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, I feel like he's a professional. Ten Hag. One thing I will say, he's a professional. He loves the game. He you know what I mean? Like, you can see, like, you know what I mean? I can respect a guy who takes pride in what he does, but ultimately isn't good enough. You know what I mean? You can respect that. You know what I'm saying? To someone who tries, but ultimately, I don't believe he's good enough for the role. And maybe he overanalyzes football too much. You know what I mean? Because I look at him, I think he's concussed, man. I don't know if he's sleeping well at night because the way he's talking. No, I'm being serious, guys, man. Is he sleeping well at night? Because he's saying fine margins. He's talking about we deserve everything.
I don't think there's any manager that sleeps well at night, to be honest, in the Premier League.
No, but come on, man. There's managers that sleep well at night, and there's managers that don't sleep well. You know what I mean? Ten Hag clearly does not sleep well. He's not been biking. He said he's not been biking all winter. He's not. Normally, he does all of them stuff, and he looks a bit happy. But I seen the interview the other day. He's not been cycling. He's not been doing his little bits and bobs. And
on the BBC.
And let me ask you a question. Yeah. If we win, let's say we somehow get top 4. So obviously, I don't think we will, but somehow we get top 4 and win the FA Cup. Would you keep him, or is it still time to go?
No, man. No.
So regardless of what he does, he is done in all of you man's eyes. Unbelievable.
Too much. He's done too much.
For me, FA Cup, you get 6 months extra, man. Give him 6 months. FA Cup.
I mean, look,
6 months for what?
My thing is, everything above him has been a shambles. This is the first time in 10 years where some sort of club mentality is coming in, and he's not going to have the opportunity to to say to the board, I want this player. The board say no, he's going to cost too much money. But if he understands that, then there shouldn't be an issue. He worked like that. Didn't he work like that at Ajax? I understand Ajax is a completely different level, and their players are coached in the way that Ajax want to play. I think that was the point made by, I can't remember which one of the two gentlemen below me made that point, which was a good point to be fair. But I'm still stunned the fact that he's had no backing. Everybody knew that everything above him's been shit, but everything now is being sorted out. He can just concentrate on his specific role. The fact that he doesn't know the best players, he only knew Dutch players. Well, if he had relied on some of that I understand. Everybody he's been linked to is Dutch or somebody that he's played with. But if INEOS and their scouts do the right thing, he might not name a player. He might name an attribute or a few attributes that he wants from the player, and they go out there and find a player for the price that the club want to pay. You understand? That's more what I'm looking for. Finding these unknowns. So I get that he's more likely going to be gone, but I would love him for them to just come out and say, no, he's staying another season. Shut down all the doubters, shut down all of these miserable players who, I'm not going to say they're leaking, but there's bit information coming out all the time. Good or bad, there's always information coming out. We're the only club that does that. So those kind of things, shut down, close the door on everything and just deal with things how things need to be dealt with, like a proper football club. But he's not going to have the opportunity under 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7,000 man in the chat.
Big up H says if Roberto Zerbi says came in today, he'd have his players playing in possession style by the weekend, regardless of the play quality. They will learn by force. And Olu says, why do people think Ten Hag is better than Zerbi, Nagelsmann or Flick? They are different people. Zerbi is underrated in my opinion. What do y'all think? You know what it is with me? I look at Zerbi. I'm still apprehensive about Zerbi because I look at his style, and I don't know if I'm ready to get beat 3-0 one week and win 4-0 the next week. You know, I mean, the fluctuation of his results are just they're crazy to me. But I do believe he's a better coach than Ten Hag. I really do. I look at his principles. I think he does it no matter what, which I like, similar to Ange. I believe Nagelsmann as well in that aspect of he, for me, got sacked too early from Bayern Munich, so I say. He's a very, very good coach. And Hansi Flick won the treble in a very, very unique system, man, that honestly was unbelievable in that 2020 lockdown settings and whatnot. You know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Bro,
So
the thing about the Zerbi, bro, like he hasn't managed a big club yet. I don't see him as a big club manager. Brighton, it's all nice and that, but let's be honest, mate, it's Brighton. Man United were a big club. Old Trafford, it's not easy in there, bro. You know how it is. There's pressure. Can he come in there and do a good job?
You feel like he's not got the aura, though? I feel like he's got more aura than Ten Hag, though. You can, you know, he at least kind of like you can feel him like he's got more energy, more fight in him.
That's true,
I feel like he would have more fight than this guy here. You know,
you know what's crazy? The way Adam Lallana, you know, the way he's coaching him at Brighton, the way he talks about him is like he's a god, you know. And he was coached under Klopp, and the way, you know, Kevin Prince Spalding, he was on Rio's podcast. The way he talks about him, Saeed, is like he's the greatest thing ever, man. He goes, he was better than he talked about how he was better than Klopp. Like he goes, on the training ground, he's an animal. He said that.
Yeah, bro.
He goes, Klopp's improved a lot since he was coached, because it was a long time ago. But he goes, at the time, Zerbi's the best coach I've ever had. He goes, on the training pitch, it's a show. He's like, it's like a theater. He's an animal on there. The way he talks, the way he demands, he's like taking off his clothes. He's crazy. But he gets the players really excited about. But he goes, if you're off by a centimeter, whether your pass or your positioning's off, he'll rip your head off. But the players listen. Wow. They buy in. They buy into his stuff. But yeah, the fluctuation result is interesting because obviously he lost his midfield.
Players. He did, to be fair.
And he was, if you remember in the summer, he wanted to keep Colwell so bad. He was like he wanted to buy Colwell from Chelsea. that affected him. Like, it's a very young team he's got at the moment, but we never know because he never managed a big team in Italy. You know, obviously
he managed Sassuolo and Shakhtar, which, to be fair, Sassuolo, did he not leave them like mid-table? You know what I mean? I don't know what his record was like, if I'm being honest with you, but he did play some good football there. He had a good team, fairly decent team. I think they had that striker, which was quite decent up front. I think did not make European positions, I think, one season. Sassuolo,
it's like
sure,
six or something, 6th or 7th.
yeah. 6th or 7th team, you know what I mean? So it's not been a great team, but ultimately, you know what I mean? Like, he's a highly well thought of coach. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I just don't know what it is with him, yeah. Scamacca, was it the days when he had Scamacca? Yeah, there we go then. Scamacca and them man there. So I don't know. Something it's putting me off.
No, I feel you.
I don't know what it is.
I feel you.
Yeah, Locatelli, yeah, Locatelli.
He's a good coach, but is he a winner for Manchester United? That's the thing that's missing. It's like if he had gone to like Italy and maybe, I know he wasn't at a huge club, but did something where he competed for the Serie A, got maybe close or finished third or second place, maybe, right? But he's come to the Premier League. He's done okay with Brighton. It's just to move to Manchester United, the scrutiny on him will be so much more. Whereby, yes, he might be someone that is so fixated in making sure all the details are right and everyone is doing what he wants. But it's not the same when you go into a Manchester derby and you're playing against Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola wants to continue to destroy Manchester United, and you're coming in as, you know, it's not going to be the same thing. So for me, my pick would be Amorim, Ruben Amorim from
Chelsea looking at him.
Lisbon.
Chelsea looking at him.
Is he any good?
He's a very good coach.
Ruben Amorim.
He's a very good coach. The reason why I go for Amorim is because he won the Portuguese league with Sporting, and they hadn't won it in 20 years. And right now, they're currently on top of the Portuguese league again, even with they didn't even spend that much money in the summer. Like, he's a very flexible coach. He has philosophy orientated as Pep. I don't think anybody is. But one thing people do say about him is that his communication skills, his ability to explain what he wants on the pitch is top tier. Like, every single team, I think he started from Braga or maybe another Portuguese team, but he's literally come in there and they've improved like tenfold. Like, every team he's gone to has improved incredibly. So I would say anybody that's looking at the Zerbi, I would say research Ruben Amorim. The way he's improved teams has been exceptional, more than most teams that I would say most coaches out there right now. That would be my pick. The Zerbi is good, but I don't think I would want him as Manchester United coach.
You know what's mad, guys? Yeah, what's the best? Because at the end of the day, you know, to get a style in this team, you got to get rid of a lot of players, man, guys. I'll be honest with you, man, because I don't think I want to be seeing transition football again in my life, bro. I want to see a team that plays possession, but also can switch it up as well, man. That's got power. You know, if you're looking at the Zidane team of the era that they had with the Bale, Ronaldo, and thingy, they had the midfield in Kroos and Modric, and they had that kind of like possession, but they had the speed and the counter attack. But then they could play as well. You have to have a balance in football, man. You know what I mean? And that's something that I think United fans need. And I don't know if we get that through a different manager, but ultimately United have got to be able to do a lot of things at the same time and not just be master of one thing, be a master of many. That's what United need, man. Because at the end of the day, right now in our team, we haven't got players that can keep the ball. We haven't got players that are high IQ, intelligence, and whatnot. I don't think you can. You know what I mean? And that's the reality. Go on, Mr. B.
Right, there you go. How can anybody coach players? You just said it, Dave. You've got players who have no style, no technique, no desire to work, but you're going to get another manager in who the style that you want to play is going to be aggressive. It's going to be running. If these players don't want to do the work, you've already had a manager in who's worked with them for 18 months and knows who the people them who don't give a toss. Who he knows those players in the club. So you're going to get somebody else in who is then going to have to give these players another year to 18 months after they've let down all of these managers. It makes no sense. The issue is going to be surely the issue is with some of the players. How do these players then get removed if somebody else comes in?
It's a good
question though. Yeah. And before you come in though,
Yeah.
he's not set his own. He's not stamped his own authority on this team though. When you actually deep it, like he's actually, for me, gave into certain players like Bruno and Rashford and made them the system, which I believe he should not have done. He should not have relied on these individuals. And ultimately, he's brought in his players as well. You know, that were meant to be his guys, and that's not worked out. So end of the day, if say now Roberto De Zerbi brings in a couple of his guys in, you may see a different change in the way we play. You know, like the ways that he brought in from, I don't know, Mitoma and these guys. They've had an impact on his team. But they've shown that these players have had an impact on his team. Ten Hag, I'm looking at the players, I'm like, apart from Martinez, anybody else has made an impact on his team, like, significantly? I'm not so sure. And that's the reality of the situation, I think, with Ten Hag, is that what he's brought in has not really kind of made any difference. Onana is still to be continued. But apart from that, you know what I mean? It's one of them. Sorry?
Casemiro? What do you think about that?
Casemiro, yeah, to an extent. But then again, Casemiro, he's telling him to play a high block. He's saying Casemiro can play off on the back. He can't play off on the back, Casemiro. But he said his plan is to play a high block, and you've got Martinez and Casemiro. And I'm like, hold on a minute, that's not style. That's not style. But
if you want to press high, Casemiro's legs, he can't press high with you. It's very hard to press high with Casemiro. But I agree with that point, that like if you do change a manager, there are players that have had second chances, third chances, that we can no longer. I get obviously Rashford being one of them, but the thing is that can't be a reason why we keep a manager. But also that's why you have a sporting director, a technical director, so they are there regardless. So they make decisions, long-term decisions about the club, regardless of who's manager. So players are not giving second and third chances. They know, hey, this player's time's up, because we've seen it with Ten Hag, we've seen it with Ole, we've seen it with Rangnick, where he basically gave up. So I get it, but that's why you have people at the club that are making those long-term decisions, regardless of who the manager is, you know?
How are they going to know if they've got nobody to bounce their questions off? Is it going to be something that you think that they're looking at now to see who the players are who don't get? This is the part that I'm trying to work out. If a new manager comes in, is it going to be the directors and everybody else who gets rid of the players who we feel as fans aren't good enough? It's obvious. So this is the point I'm saying. So the role that Ten Hag or the new manager is going to have is going to be specifically coaching the football team. Give him that role. Give him just that. Don't give him all of the headache of everything else, and see how it works out.
Well, we're linked with Dougie Freeman today. Dougie Freeman we're linked with today, who's at Crystal Palace.
Head of recruitment,
You know what I mean? So, yeah, head of recruitment over there. So, and he's not done a shabby job over there with Olise and Eze and stuff like that. So he's actually not done a bad job.
The defender, Mark Away.
Yeah, Mark Gahey and whatnot. Yeah, so but I understand you there. But then again, Ten Hag came into the job knowing that he had control over majority of the stuff that was coming in. So, you know what I mean? Like, if he wanted basically the control because he knew United was shit. So I get it. I get what you mean. The manager, whoever comes in, the person there has to just focus on the team and obviously work with whoever's, you know, if that's Dan Ashworth or if that's Dougie Freeman. But ultimately, he's had a lot of control in this aspect, you know what I mean, of bringing who he wants. I've never seen any manager come into this football club and demand and want a lot of things. And he's got most of them. He's got most of them. I'm not saying he's got everything, but he's got most of them what he's wanted. Like, let's be honest. Okay, Harry Kane's a different one. Harry Kane's one of them where it's on everyone's wish list. Yeah, I mean, if you get him, you get him. Kim Min-jae, release clause. Man United didn't act quick enough. I don't know why. Something happened. De Jong, that remains a question. Did he want to come? Did he want? Who else did he want that he didn't get? Tell me. Can anyone explain? Anyone tell me?
Say, you know, he wanted Arnautovic. He wanted Arnautovic from Bologna.
Well, that's what he wanted.
And
if it weren't for United fans, he would have been in here. If it weren't for Man United fans revolting because of the whole racism and whatever, he wanted Gakpo.
Yeah, that's facts.
You think Gakpo would fix our problems? Gakpo would have fixed anything.
I'm glad we didn't sign him. I'm glad. The thing is, what at this saying? We sold in the summer. We sold Fred for €9 million. yeah, and then we signed Amrabat for 9 million on loan. We signed Amrabat for 9 million euros, and he doesn't even want to use him anymore. Every time he's on the pitch, you know what I mean? Like, so we sell.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Just think about. I would have much rather kept Fred. I would have much rather kept Fred. You know, but we actually sold him. This is a loan fee for Amrabat, which is 9 million euros. Another player that he coached. This was. He's even going back to FC Utrecht.
Was Amrabat not free?
No, we signed 9 million euro loan fee.
Yeah, loan fee.
No, we got him on loan. But I think that there's a option to buy at the end of the loan,
which is another $30 million, 30 million euros.
We bought a loan fee for Amrabat. Let me see.
Yes, that's what a loan fee.
I think we paid 2.5 million euros on loan.
10 million euros.
That's why they did the fire sale with all of the kids in it. That's why they got rid of every 750 here, 1 million here, trying to get the money to buy up. Yeah.
So we got the same transfer fee for Fred.
Yeah, but you lot, I can't lie.
Now he got blood on his hands, man. I genuinely forgot. I thought it was free with an obligation or an option to buy. I didn't know it was 10 million loan fee.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, man.
Man.
And guess what? Where did he coach him? Where did he coach him, Said? FC Utrecht. He had him at FC
Utrecht 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. So he wanted to get Arnautovic from FC Utrecht. He wanted to get thing from it's been embarrassing, bro. If you look at it,
and Fred would have been a better player. Fred would have been a better player if he stayed.
100%.
Fred would have been a better player.
I'm not sure about that, you know. I don't think Amrabat's that bad. I don't think Amrabat's
that bad. He hasn't implemented the system. He looks rusty. He keeps playing out of position. He doesn't trust him. I don't think Amrabat is bad yet. But what I'm trying to say to you is that you've not made him priority. When you bought it for 10 million, you have no clue what you're doing with your players. You don't have a clue.
You know what's crazy? Do you know who? Andy Midden, yeah? He does some of the reporting for United We Stand and stuff.
Yeah.
He was saying that Ten Hag was warned against signing Amrabat by people at the recruitment staff at United, and then people people in Italy. They're like, he's going to United. We got sucked in as fans because we saw him at the World Cup and he was fighting for his country, and he's you could we got sucked in, but that's okay. We're fans. We can get sucked into stuff like that. But there were people at the club warning him, bro, don't do this. People in Italy that watch him week in, week out for Fiorentina going, well, what's going on? Why is Manchester United signing a player like that? And we ended up we got leased. We ended up selling somebody for 9 million, but then we paid a loan fee for 9 million. And now he's going to go back to his club and it's just another 10 million euros wasted.
But bro, guy, he ain't that bad though, man. Come on, man. He has had not enough opportunities, bro. We play him left back.
I can't forgive him anymore, man. After that derby, for me, not forgiven.
He isn't good enough technically, bro. He's not technically good enough, and he's just not quick of mind. His passing's a bit off. What's good about him?
How many games has he started in this position? Maybe about 2 or 3, maybe. He's always playing left back.
He had a couple of games in midfield, but that was about it, man. I'll be honest with you, but I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Bro. You know what it is for me? I need to see that the coach is invested into the player. Why should I be invested into the player? Why am I being let down and I'm going out? Listen, I put my neck on the line for this player, yeah. Pause, yeah. But I feel like I put myself out there for this player. But I'm being serious, I put myself out for this player, yeah. And
you're a big fan, yeah?
This manager. But this manager ain't backing it. How am I backing someone, yeah, that's not even backing himself? This manager is not even playing the guy that he brought in. You know what I mean? Sabitzer. I rated Sabitzer. I was like, yo, we got Sabitzer, man. This guy, we got a player. I was gassed. I was like, yo, Sabitzer. Bro, man, he puts him in the wrong position. How many players he was
better than Amrabat, though. Don't you reckon he's better than Amrabat for us?
I mean, he wasn't bad at all, Sabitzer. He wasn't bad at all, bro.
He actually did some good things. He scored some big goals. I bet you he watches him in training and he's off the pace badly against all the other players. I think Amrabat's off. We never get to see training, but a lot of this is based on training form. If he was killing it in training, of course he'd start him.
But bro, I don't think so, because I heard even at Ajax, bro, he didn't rotate his team, bro. He has his set team in his mind, and that's what he plays. He play good in training, doesn't matter, bro. He doesn't rotate.
Weggy.
Look at
Big
Diallo,
up to
bro.
Ole.
Where's he at?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Big up to Ole. It's based on INEOS history with other sports teams. Do you have confidence they will get it right? Bro, they bloody hope so, man. I think for me, it's one of them where I have to just hope that they do well. You know what I mean? That's a reality situation. I have to hope that they have a plan. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. But going back to the situation, yeah. Sabitzer wasn't great. Yeah, no worries, man. Brian, say you got to say something before you go. You say you're gonna go on, Brian. You're
Can't
on
hear you,
mute. Can anyone hear him?
No,
You're a mute.
Can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you.
I think it's things bugging.
Yeah, you think's bugging. Big up to everyone here. Make sure you keep liking the video, people. Zoatech TV says, I'd rather pay 30 million for Gakpo or 10 million for Arnautovic than 70 million for Hoyland. Scandalous.
That's cap.
Rah, that's
Nah,
crazy. Zoatech, I'll be honest with you, that's the L right there.
That's
L's
mental.
in the chat for Zoatech TV. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Yeah, can you hear us now, Brian?
Yeah, can hear you guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you now. Can hear you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick. I agree with what everyone's saying with the players and where we need to improve, right? But it's the trust thing. Do you trust Ten Hag is going to get the best out of what he has? I'll give you an example. Amad Diallo. Why is Forsen getting all this game time that Amad should be getting? It makes no sense to me. We haven't seen Forsen do one good thing at Manchester United at the senior level. Like, he brought him on against Manchester City to do what? What is the kid gonna do? Like,
It's a contract, Brian. He's Man United are struggling to get him on a contract. So basically, they're offering game time. That's
but
what
that's
it
not
is.
good though.
But
That's
bro,
not
he's just
good.
I know.
forcing though, man. No offense, but he's not like a special talent that we should be giving him game time because he wants a contract. Like, he's not that amazing, is he? Let's be honest, bro. Even in the Antonio, he didn't run that crazy. But go on,
Because
bro.
if I'm someone like Palestri, if I'm someone like Ahmad, I'll be looking at that like saying, yo, you're only playing this guy because he doesn't want to sign a contract. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It should be merit based, right?
Yep.
Ahmad had a very good season at Sunderland in the championship. Based on merits, based on that performance alone, he should have had more game time by now. But he hasn't. So it's stuff like that I'm seeing. It's like you can go and sign Ten Hag the right, quote unquote, the right players. But do you trust that he's going to be able to get the best out of them going forward? Because what would dictate that is the system. Is the system good enough? Or is it going to expose the players? Because the system we're playing right now is killing our midfield. It's killing our midfield. It's killing our defense. We concede the most shots. The only other team that hasn't conceded as much shots as us is Sheffield United. And they've been eating 5-0 every week, like for the last 3 weeks. So we cannot just look at it like, okay, Ten Hag, great name. I like the guy, good coach. But if you're just looking at the name, forget all that. Look at what he's actually done at Manchester United. When you look at it like that and evaluate it like that, you're going to be like, okay, based on merits, I don't think this guy deserves to stay. I'm not going to let a coach shouldn't just stay at a club just because everyone is talking about a process. Because behind the scenes at Arsenal, the people in charge were seeing what Arteta was doing. That's what allowed him to stay. It's not a fictitious thing where people are like, oh, we're just going to give him time. No, they saw the work he was doing. And what's going to allow Ten Hag to stay is the work he's doing. And if the people above him don't see it, he's going to get sacked. It's as simple as that.
Big up, Brian, man. I appreciate you coming on as always, man. We'll catch up next week, yeah?
All right,
Big
no
up
problem,
to Brian
man.
Elite Pundit. Big up, man. W's in the chat for MK United 19. Become the latest member of the chat. W's in the chat, bro. Appreciate it, man. But Bacon, astaghfirullah, Bacon Lord says, at what point do you concede that until a full clear out of the squad, no coach will succeed? These players can't play anything other than counter-attack. Listen, man, I get it, yeah. These players can't play the expansive football, but they can play better football than we're watching right now. Like, man, you're telling me these players can't play better than what we're seeing right now? Are we actually saying that, man? Come
There's
on,
no
man. They
excuses,
can play better. It is excuses, man. I feel
You
like
know
for
what's
me,
crazy, Said?
there's a clear. Yeah, go on.
You know what's when we're watching the game on the weekend, you know when we strung like 3-4 passes together in our own half, I was like, wow, this is it. I was smiling in my I was just smiling by myself, bro. When we just 3-4 passes together. So the number one thing I noticed on the players have no belief. They're playing with zero belief. That's on the manager. They're all there's a lot of anxiety with the way we play. I'm telling you, man. He hasn't instilled any confidence in them. So when they get the ball, they treat it like a hot potato. They just want to kick it. Like a great manager tells them, it's okay. No, mistakes are okay, but just play the way I want you to play. And then before you know it, you start to build confidence in you might string 3-4 passes together. You might, are able to beat the press. There's no way we beat a team's press. When they press us, we're so scared of making a mistake when teams press us in our own half that we end up giving the ball away anyways. And the Ten Hag's but a great manager tells them, it's okay, don't worry about it. These players are not great technicians, but they're not as bad as what we're watching. There's no way, man, they're as bad as what we're watching. And the idea that give Ten Hag more time, so we can sign another Anthony, so we can sign another Mount, so we can sign another Casemiro, so we can sign another Onana. Imagine if all these signings that we're making, we go, what a player! I can see why he fits the system. Then you might be like, okay, let's give him more time because he's made 2 or 3 full signings. They're fitting into his system. Clearly, they're better players than we already have, but they're not. I feel like some of the players we've gone backwards, man. I feel like the team we had with Ole was much more exciting, much more technically better than what we have now. So the idea of giving him more time, I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah. But now going back to the Ahmad thing, man, it's obviously it's one of them where we've got a lot of unearthed gems in the team, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of players who should be getting more game time. There's a lot of players who are gonna come back in the summer. You know what I mean? So maximizing the squad as well is gonna be key, man. Because one thing about Ten Hag, though, Mr. B, he's got favourites, man. So even if you say, but even if you say, Mr. B, yeah, you give this guy another chance here. Bro, you're never going to maximize the squad because you know what's going to be the next season. If Ten Hag has a new squad, yeah, he's probably going to get another midfielder, maybe another winger, and possibly a centre back. But apart from that, you're probably going to see most of the team the same. Really, let's be honest. You're going to see most of the personnel the same. Let's be really honest. You're going to see that
because you can't get rid of them.
Okay, you can't get rid of certain players. But imagine he does. Imagine some players go let's say Maguire leaves, Lindelof leaves. Who else needs to leave? McTominay's going to stay. Do you think this manager wants McTominay to go? Do you reckon?
He's staying, bro. He'll never go. McTominay's staying, bro. He might retire at United, bro.
Come on, man. This manager wanted to stay because he shows a bit of fight and he's kept him in a job. He's earned his trust for 1 more year, this manager.
The thing is, McTominay, yeah, our players are so unbothered. At least he tries, isn't it? You know what I mean? At least he puts a shift in, bro. Our players are
nah, man. I'm tired of that. Trying, man.
Well, me too, bro.
I'm trying, man.
He tries his best, man. Our players are just useless, bro. Some of them.
He I think he's a good locker room guy as well, McTominay. He's not. You're not going to start him, but I think he comes to work with the right attitude. He'll train hard. Obviously, you wouldn't start him, but if he's like your 3rd, 4th guy off the bench, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. It's not the worst, as long as you've got a good first team and you've got a decent bench and McTominay comes here and there, it's not the worst thing in the world, I'd rather keep him than somebody like Rashford. I'd rather 100%.
Oh,
wow.
100%.
That's crazy, man.
That sounds hot in Australia right now, boy.
I promise you. You know why? Nah, bro. I can defend it. I'm happy to defend it.
Mental, brother.
I'm happy to defend it.
Go on.
Listen, go on. Tell me why.
And people will think I'm mean, but I think Rashford is corrosive. His behavior, I don't think in training, I don't think on the pitch, when he throws up his arms in the air and falls on the floor, these are not the right, the behaviors, they're losing behaviors. And then it spreads that's why I said cancer last time. That's why I said because it spreads like cancer.
That's bad. That's bad. You can't use that word. But I get what you mean. He's a bad. You think he's a bad energy in the dressing room? You think it's a bad energy?
Yeah, no. When I say cancer, I mean when I say cancer, it just means that it's that when you have bad behavior, the behavior spreads. That's what cancer does. It spreads to the rest of the thing. Okay. Not him personally, but those types of behavior. In terms of his effort. It fluctuates up and down.
Body language, you mean? Okay.
I hear that.
All of it. like, is he a good person around the, like, or does he keep quiet into himself? And does he get upset? What is he like around the place, man? Does he bring the energy down? Like, you need people that bring a positive energy. Like, what is that like? And that's why I think somebody like Rashford, that brings your locker room down if that behavior continues, man. And other people think they can do it. The young players like Garnacho or Højlund. And that's why I think he's detrimental overall to the team harmony. And I'd rather keep somebody like McTominay, man. I really do, man.
You would rather keep
McTominay's crazy, man.
You would rather keep McTominay, who has no football IQ, over Rashford, who just this week hit that ripper from 25 yards. Bruv, that don't make no sense.
What else did he do in that game?
I understand. Yeah, but did he play the game injured? Did Ten Hag play the game injured? McTominay is a sub. You've said it already. Third or fourth choice sub at most. Sub. If he accepts that role, he's still going to have to get paid more money to accept that role. Get rid of him. If he's not good enough to start, get rid of him. Why do you have to have players who are subs? You have two starters, two men who will break their neck for that position. Then you get competition. You understand? You don't want to accept third or fourth choice. No, if he's not good enough, get him out.
Bro, I swear to you, I'll transfer anyone in the chat or any of you, man, £10 right now. Tell me one thing McTominay done last game, bro. It was like we had 10 men, bro. He was invisible.
I thought he's better than Rashford.
No.
But that's mid versus mid, man. This is the problem with United. It is mid versus mid. Get rid of the mid. If we want to be serious here, get rid of half of these lot, man, and then we can actually be serious. And you know what? This is why sometimes maybe bringing in a Zerbi might be beneficial than bringing in, I don't know, a guy who's similar to the counter-attacking style, because I feel like with De Zerbi, at least he'll get half of his squad out because he won't be able to play his football. They wouldn't. So, as much as I don't want De Zerbi, maybe De Zerbi coming in might see a little bit of good football and you get all of this crap out that aren't beneficial to anything. That's the only thing that I would say De Zerbi might be a benefit of, is that you'll actually see players who are technical in the team, that if you can't pass 5 yards, or you can't dribble, or you can't be competent on the ball, you're out the door, mate. You're out the door. You know what I'm saying?
So who do you want?
Or you get... Sorry?
So who do you want to come in as next manager then? If it's not Zerbi,
firstly, for me, I'm looking at De Zerbi. I'm looking at Hansi Flick, and I'm looking at the Simeone Inzaghi from Inter Milan. I'm looking at them two as my two outstanding options. But obviously, I don't know what the INEOS do. I reckon people are not gonna like this here, but I think it's gonna be Graham Potter. I really do, man. I think it's gonna be him, man.
Me too, bro.
I think it is, man. I genuinely think it is, man. He's the easiest man to get in. He's not going to cost you a lot. There's no compensation to play. There's nothing. There's no loss in there. You're bringing him in, and if you don't work out in a year, it's easy to get him out as well. So I think it's going to be, because at the end of the day, Inter Milan, I don't think they're going to get rid of Simeone Inzaghi. They're going to win the league. They'll probably go find a Champions League. Zidane, I heard reports of Zidane today. That ain't gonna happen.
Never.
Nagelsmann is a possibility. It just depends on what happens in the Euros. If he does well, I don't know. Maybe you'll like to see that opportunity grow. But he's young as well, So would he want to stay and waste potential? That's the kind of feeling. Or do you go get an experienced manager in there like Hansi Flick, 2 to 3 years? You come in, you do a job, and you leave after 3 years. Someone who's not going to be a long-term option, even though I think long-term options are not even a thing anymore. Yeah, you do a job for 3 years, you leave. If you don't do a job after 3 years, you're sacked. For this idea of getting sucked into manager, I don't want to be sucked into any manager anymore. I want to be cold as ice. I don't want to love a manager. I want to be able to say, yo, you did a job, bye-bye. See you later. 3 years, you did a job, bye-bye.
That's what Bayern Munich do.
Bayern Munich do that. Real Madrid do that. They don't fall in love with their managers. See you later.
Even Chelsea.
3 years. Bye-bye. Yeah, man. I want to be cutthroat and be like, yo.
But it'd be nice to have a Klopp or... It'd be nice to have a Klopp or...
Nah, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, guys. This idea that you're going to get a manager that you're going to fall in love with and it's going to be here for a while, it's not going to happen. They're rare occasions, man.
It's true.
Rare occasions.
Do you not find it interesting that the two most successful managers over the last 10 years have been there almost 8-9 years together, whether it's Pep or Klopp? They've been there a long time. If you can find the right manager, of course you want to keep him. If you can find the right manager, you do want to keep him. But our problem is we find the wrong manager and then we stick with them too long, like we have with Ten Hag. Like obviously we can't do that. But if we can get the right manager, say Julian Nagelsmann's the right manager, and INEOS can mold him because he's only 36, 36, 37.
Bro.
Like, I think they might like him because they think they can mold him into a really, really good manager. Like, did you know why he was sacked at Bayern Munich? Why was he? Was it?
There was disinterest from the players and the way that his style was. So basically, they didn't like his pragmatic style. That's what I was told anyway. Was
he pragmatic though? Was he? He's an attacking coach, isn't he?
He was an attacking coach, but they didn't like his style and the way he was doing things at the time. I remember when it came to training, like it was very, very the animosity. There was things behind the dressing room. There was a player revolt as well. Players leaking stuff out. There was so much things happening behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So that's why it didn't work out for him. Yeah, and he's a young guy. They probably took the piss out of him.
Yeah.
So,
but Thomas Muller's older than him, bro. So I get it, but like, if it's a manager issue, like, it would be interesting. He's young, he can learn, but I like him and Zerbi. If we get one of those two, I think we've got a chance. But there isn't a standout. The problem is we're looking for the standout candidate. The next Klopp, the next Pep. These are generational coaches. Managers. They're both great. Yeah, managers. They're both great tactically, but they're masters at like dealing with people, management. Like they have the mix of both. And then when we look, like there's other coaches, they might be good at one thing, but they're shit at the other. These are like they don't come around. We might not see another Pep for another 50 years, another 30 years. And same for Klopp. There's no one as like charismatic as Klopp. Like the way he can deal with the media, the way he can deal with the players. He's funny, but then he can be serious. On the touchline, he's like an animal. There isn't another Klopp around. And if we're looking for that, we're going to be looking for a long, long time. I get that side. I really do.
Big up Sam said, thoughts on this? We should be appointing manager on an 18-month deal as head coach. You do well and you get an extension and promoted to the manager. You know what it is? It depends, because I remember Antonio Conte had that, didn't he? And it didn't end up well for him, did it? He had an 18-month deal, and it didn't end up well for him. I don't know, man. I don't see any manager coming in and saying, yo, I've got to prove myself for 18 months.
It's too much pressure, man. Too much pressure, man. Way too much.
Yeah. Big up to Lee Gunner. Says, Ancelotti has managed 51 games at Real Madrid in 2 spells. Second highest in Real Madrid's history, more than Arteta at Arsenal. Last 17 Real Madrid managers 10 have lasted 50 games or less, win or sacked. Yeah, but this is the problem, though. What is the fan base's mentality? I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If we're now talking about a manager who isn't gonna get Champions League football, might not win a trophy, and still deserves to keep his job, I mean, where are we at, man? I don't know honestly, I'm worried, man. I'm worried about the fan base's mentality, because I look at us and I'm like, yeah, we're rubbish, yeah. But don't feel sorry for yourselves, innit? You know what I mean, man? I'm being serious.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, we're rubbish, yeah. But let's not feel sorry for ourselves, man. Let's not believe that in 3 years we can't narrow the gap with proper recruitment and proper structure, man. Let's not think we're a million miles away, man. We are in terms of Man City, but I still want to see this club compete. You know what I mean? Like Champions League football. I'm looking at Champions League football right now. Real Sociedad. Come on, mate.
Honestly, bro.
Real Sociedad are getting, bro. Honestly, come on, man. The Champions League ain't what it was, man. Even though we're shit, we only made to look shit because it's manager. And
we lost them. We lost them last year, bro. We lost to Real Sociedad in Ten Hag's good season. We lost to Real Sociedad last year.
Oh my god, man!
But what will be interesting? What's our transfer strategy going to be like? Are we going to buy? This will decide how long our rebuild is. Are we going to buy players in their mid-20s, or are we going to buy players in the early 20s? You know what I mean? Like if we sign like these young players from. If we sign young players,
yeah. I personally, get up to Jay Socials, by the way, we keep managers too long in fear we won't find another, and we devalue our players by constant criticism and scapegoating. Wow, damning.
It's true.
You know what it is, though? The new format actually does make us look better, to be fair, as well. It will actually probably help United. The fact that you don't have to play a group stage and you just play it's a one table format.
Literally.
You know what I mean, and whatnot. But still, we don't deserve Champions League football, man. You know, whether and that has come from the manager and the way we've played and the group of players we've had. That belief that we don't deserve things, bro. How am I saying we don't deserve things, man? Bro, it's crazy.
Bro,
It's
I can't do
crazy, man.
Europa. I can't do Europa again, man. Europa League is depressing, bro. Even the music, bro. And I hear that from 10 o'clock. Gets me mad, but
Yeah.
so ahead of man.
Big up to Craig says, got more chance of me winning Miss World than you have us to making top 4. He has to go. Mr. B, man, listen, you've come on a channel where most of the guys on here staunch Ten Hag outers, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know people have their own opinions, but listen, Mr. B, man, this is serious out here, man. We don't sit on the fence, man. We say how it is, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be real with you, man. Like, and we just had enough. I've had enough, and I think it's time to go, Ten Hag, man. But you still got the belief that you can turn it around, and you know what I mean.
I want him to be given. I want him to be given the chance with the whole system around him. He's a coach. Just make the man coach. Don't give him no extra things to do that's going to be filling up his head full of nonsense. You know what I mean? He got ideas above his station with the players that he bought. His wings have been clipped. He understands the deal. Let me go. But as I said, I want him to. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an idiot. I don't think the new season starts and he's here. But I would love more than anything for him just to say he's been given a new contract. You gone. Regardless of what they're sold for, the manager don't want them. Get them out and let him have his own players in there. Look what he's been working with. Players who have been there 8 years and let down bare other managers.
Bro, he's gonna sign more players from the Eredivisie, bro.
Is Anthony's player? Is Amrabat his player? Is Onana his player? Is Martinez his? He's got a lot of players.
Did he have an option? Could he have gone and bought a player from anywhere else?
Yes,
of course he can.
Right.
Yeah.
No. When
yes.
I say that, when I say that, what I mean is the club. You've seen the players, the club. We bought Maguire for 85 million. Do people forget that? Ten Hag wasn't there when that happened, bro. You know what I mean? He wasn't the best, and he's definitely not the best now. He hasn't improved, but that was 85 million then. Yeah, managers make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Anthony's been superb because, Lord God, even for 15 million, he's not good. He's not good. Granted, mistakes have been made, but again, I want to see him in his, you know, as I keep saying it, just everything above him is, he's got the director, he's got the decisions aren't his, because some of those decisions he's made have been catastrophic.
Yeah. I mean, big up to American United. I don't know what he said here because he's always saying some wild stuff. He says, I heard his wife put buying business in the newspaper she works for, and that was the one of the reasons they sack him. Is this Nagelsmann?
Nagelsmann. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he started dating this chick that works for the big newspaper in Germany, and they didn't like that.
Oh shit! Fuck,
yeah.
You know.
And they didn't like he was coming to work. He was coming into work with a skateboard. They didn't like he was riding it.
Was that serious? I see somebody. Sorry, I see somebody. I see somebody right there. Is that real?
To be fair,
he did that. To be fair, he was
as well. I'll be sorry.
Yeah, bro. Why do people care what let him do whatever he wants, man?
Nah, skateboard is crazy, man. Bro. Skateboard is crazy.
Yeah, the Germans are strict like that. You know, they wanted him to come in an Audi, coming to work with a nice Audi.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
How
can a man is Bayern Munich, big club like that, coming in a skateboard, bro? Man, you have to go, bro.
No, there's nothing wrong. Actually, it makes you more relatable. It makes you more relatable.
Yeah,
bro,
exactly.
Nah, that's nuts, man.
Come on, man.
There's no issue with that at all.
Man. Our manager ain't got no sauce, man. Bro, man, he's got nothing, man. Man? Come on, man. Come and skateboard around Old Trafford, man. Do what you got to do, bro. As long as you're winning, I could give a shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Big up Craig says, if you can't give this manager another 400 bags, we're digressing, not progressing. Time is up. Let me ask you a question, Mr. B. Do you think this manager's progressed us or has he regressed us from last season?
I will hold up my hands. I'm not gonna. I think we have. we have gone backwards.
So why do you want him so badly, bro?
I think you know what the style. You know what? As I said, I'm a very. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. The stubborn's maybe not the stubborn's not maybe. Yeah, you know what? We do this all the time, and these. Oh, I nearly cuss. I nearly made swear words come out of my mouth. So these players, they just keep doing it training's too hard. They don't want to drive home in the dark. We've got so much bitches at the club. Just get them out. Get them out and let the man work with his own things.
We can't have that. You're right. We can't have players staying on because the manager's sacked. I think we all agree on that one. But I think even deep down, Mr. P, that Ten Hag is just not good enough. I think the club's too big for him, bro. I think that he knows the club is too big for him. He knows that, he lacks confidence whenever he's talking in the media. I don't feel confidence. I imagine what the players are feeling when he comes into the dressing room. You know, when the manager comes in and he just says a couple of words and gets everybody, they become calm and relaxed and they believe in something.
You want a hype man?
No, I just want somebody that has confidence when they speak, that he gets people to believe. I don't think when he talks, I don't think anybody believes what he's saying. No one. I don't think Ten Hag believes what he's saying, let alone the players. And that's why when we watch the product on the pitch, they lack belief. And if there's no belief, it doesn't matter what tactics you have.
Do you think the belief is just from this season then? Because obviously they look very happy winning the trophy last year. Where do you think this lack of belief is coming from? The beginning of the season, halfway through the season? Pre-season?
No, it's a good point. I think at times we played okay last year, but even if let's use the Carabao Cup final as an example, we were defending deep in our own box most of that game. Newcastle dominated us. Is it just me? Newcastle dominated the possession. They just didn't have the quality to finish.
In the final?
In the Carabao Cup final, we got him a couple of times in transition moments, but ultimately during that game, I walked away from it thinking they played better than us. I really did. They dominated the ball. They played better than us. They just didn't have the quality to finish a lot of the chances that they created, or that final pass. They didn't have that final pass. But that's what I thought. I didn't think, but it was a final. We won, so people didn't think about it. And then let's go about 3-4 months later than that. The FA Cup final. Honestly, that was one of the worst performances, that FA Cup final, man. We did
even
nothing.
The semi-final, bro. Brighton. Bro, semi-final against Brighton was shit. Brighton dominated the whole game. Brighton dominated most possession. We were awful that day against Brighton, and we got penalties, and fair enough. Solly March missed it and whatnot, so we got away with it there, man. Listen, I don't want to think for me. Last year teams weren't ready. Liverpool, Tottenham, a lot of teams weren't ready, man. And this is the reality now: is that now that they are gone back to where they are, it's like next season, if you did give this manager time, do you think he could build on it again? And I just look at his style now. I think it's so, for me, like, injuries are always going to be part of football. Like, injuries next season are going to be part of football. This is why I don't really buy into injuries, you know? Like, and that's where I look at him. Yeah, go on, Kofi. What are you going to say?
Even that, bro. You heard a lot of players saying that training is too hard. Like, they do a lot of running for no reason. You can see, bro, how many injuries do we get all the time? It's not a coincidence, bro. You get me? They're falling down like flies, bro. I don't know what he's doing in training, but he's got to settle it down. You can say they're bitches if you want, man, but come on, bro. The proof's in the pudding, bro. The injuries we're getting is mad. It has to be a reason, bro. So
everybody's getting injuries, though, right? We've had a lot, right? But everybody, Newcastle got bare injuries. Liverpool,
you know who doesn't get a lot of injuries? You know, Arsenal and City don't get a lot of injuries because they keep the ball. They're not playing transition games every day because they're not playing basketball, and they're just keeping the ball. And they win the ball back as soon as they lose it. They don't get as many injuries because it's not as a physically exhausting football, because we play such a physically exhausting game. We're conceding 20 shots. We're making 20 shots. That means that you're more susceptible to injuries, soft tissue injuries, hamstrings, quads, all that other stuff. And the way they train is probably different as well. Like, I think your game style has a lot to do with how many injuries you get. Whereas Liverpool play such an exhausting game style. That's why they got so many injuries all the time.
And bro, even you say next season you want him to get some more players. You're gonna sign another Anthony for another 80 million. Probably sign someone like Brian Bobby from Ajax.
But
These Ajax players,
the
bro, I don't
choices
wanna
won't
see
be
them.
his. The choices won't be his. This is the point that I'm. This is the point that I'm saying. If he asks for specifics, not players, you ask for specifics. That this is where the recruitment side of the club is. He says he wants a right winger who can drift to the left and shoot on his left foot, and he's good in the air. They're then gonna have a database of players with those stats. He doesn't have to go out there and choose a Brobby because that's the only one he knows who can do that. You understand? They're going to be opening up his mind to, maybe not his mind, but opening up the club to more. You know, you have 4 options who can do that, and then you scout them, then you look into it. You know what I mean? Look, I said I don't think he's going to be here anyway. I'm not going to say I'm not stupid enough to. He's going to be here next season, but as I said already, I would love nothing more than they just give him the new contract and man just go bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, new contract. Imagine we go Ten Hag.
That's crazy though. That's what I'm trying to say. Does he deserve a new contract? That's see all I'm saying.
What I think the club deserves is some stability. Okay, that's more. I think it deserves the stability. That's more what I'm the side of it that I'm looking at.
I get what you're saying.
Imagine we woke up tomorrow and the news was Ten Hag's extended for 3 more years or 2 more years. That would be wild.
No, I feel like right.
I'll be hijacking the whole of Sage Street.
You'll be right.
Yeah, listen, this be my channel. My channel,
bro. They'll be a riot. Me and Saeed will be at the riot, bro. We'll be there together outside Old Trafford.
There'll be a riot, man. I'm telling
you,
man.
You know what? The market for a manager this summer is going to be wild. Bayern Munich are looking for one. Barcelona's looking for one.
Liverpool.
I reckon obviously Liverpool looking for one. Most likely
that's
Chelsea.
INEOS. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why INEOS this year cannot hold on to a manager that they believe might not succeed 6 months later. Because then, if you do sack him, you then have to have an interim to the end of the season and then find another manager in the summer 2025. And by then, who's really available? Who's really available then? When the managers that have just come in have only been there for 1 year.
We're going to end up with Wayne Rooney, bro. Then we're screwed.
Wayne Rooney, bro, I'm telling you. Wayne Rooney, bro, these guys want to take over Man United, man. I'm being serious, man.
Smart.
Wayne Rooney wants to take over Man United, mate. And this guy is adamant he could be Man United boss. So if
that's his dream job. That's his dream job.
It's his dream job, yeah. It's crazy.
And the other thing is
relegated next year. Wow, that's crazy.
Dreaming, boy.
The other thing is we have to make a decision soon then. We can't wait until the end of the season because that's why, Bayern, the reason they came to a deal with Thomas Tuchel, because you know how he's already planned to leave at the end of the season with Tuchel at Bayern Munich.
I swear down. I've got a fear that he might go, I think he might come to United, I've got this fear, man.
Nah, they won't get him, bro.
I had a dream the other night, man. I had a dream the other night. I can't lie to you guys that Tuchel was the manager of Man United. I swear down, man. I had to wake up, man. Like, seriously, man. Had a dream, bro. I was like, yo.
He's fighting with everybody, bro.
The other day. I swear down, man. I had a nightmare, bro. Tuchel was the manager. He came in and he gave this press conference.
You wouldn't want him?
Saying that, yo, I'm going to take Man United back to the top and etc. etc. And then by December, he was sacked. Bro, I swear down, man.
Why don't you want him, Sage? You wouldn't want him?
Sorry? Nah, man, because you know what it is? He's a worse version than Ten Hag, bro.
You think he's worse than Ten Hag?
Yeah, he's worse. Bro, I'm telling you now, he's worse than Ten Hag. Worse than Ten Hag.
That's a big call. Yeah. He fights with everybody, doesn't he? He's fighting with everybody. He's calling me up.
If Tuchel's a manager and he's the one in front, I'd rather keep Ten Hag, mate. That's where Mr. B would rather. Real talk, man. It's the worst version. Big up to Milestones. Explain why United have one of the lowest distance runs. I don't even know. I didn't know that was a stat. And by the way, Mr. B, someone's league gonna ask the question about what would you do if Arsenal won the league at our ground.
We're not in that race. We're not in that race. We're not in that race. And guess what? Arsenal won't be in the race by then anyway. So the score is going to be irrelevant.
Oi.
No, but if they do, though,
need
what
to be,
would you
man.
do, bro?
There's
they
no
do,
if. I'll lose my mind. I will lose my mind. I'm not. Some results hurt in it. They come to Old Trafford and we've got man dancing on the pitch. I'm going to be spitting blood.
And would you say Ten Hag out then?
No.
Or no?
I'll be saying that. I'd say my mum out, Ten Hag out, my daughter out. Sorry, missus, you might have to be gone as well. The whole world will be out. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I would lose my mind, you know?
It'd be the 11-year anniversary. Remember when they gave Roland Van Persie a guard of honor after he won the title with us?
Yeah.
It'd be the 11-year. You know, today's the 1-year anniversary of us losing 7-0 to Liverpool.
Hey, don't mention that, man.
Yeah, today.
It's us.
That's when you know what's mad. Yeah? That's when he should have been sacked. You know, when I deep it back here, guys. Yeah, that's when Ten Hag should have been sacked after the 7-0. Like when you actually deep it, guys, any other top club would have sacked him then.
It's true.
100%.
It's just 7-0 is nasty, man. That's nasty work, man. I'll be honest with you, bro. I still can't believe it to this day, bro. That's not even good.
I'll be serious here. How did we accept this, you know? Like, I remember, bro, I don't know, how did we accept this? How did we let this guy slip to the 7-0? I can't, listen, we were weak, you know, man. We were weak-minded, you know. And we should have called for this guy's head then. 7-0, and it was just okay. Nah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
We were in good form, and they were having their worst season in a long time, if you remember at the time. So, and then he dished up that. Yeah.
Because we won a trophy. Yeah, that was it. It's because we won a trophy, the Carabao Cup. But had it been the FA Cup and we were out the Carabao Cup, it probably would have been different.
We talk about that Carabao Cup like it's a Champions League title, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Paul B. Thank you for the donation, mate. Patient boys. Saying when you started building this channel, you had high and low days. We stood by you. You building this channel is hard. Eric Ten Hag building MUFC. Who else is out there that proven that it's only Klopp and Pep? Real talk. You know what it is with me though? Okay, I can be disappointed. Yeah, a lot of people can be disappointed in my job and whatnot, but I don't have the responsibility of Eric Ten Hag though. I'm not a qualified.
I like that answer.
Yeah, but it's true though. I just give my opinions on this channel. You know what I mean? I just give my opinions on this channel. Like, you know, and it's a free platform as well. Whereas you're paid to do a job for Manchester United, which is an establishment that then has to basically make profits, become a club that wins trophies. A football club is designed to win trophies. So I feel like that comparison there, Paul, I slightly disagree with it. You know what I mean? But then again, that question you make there, who can fix it? You know what I mean? I get what you mean. There's only Pep and Klopp. But the thing is, I'm not asking to be Pep and Klopp. I'm not. I know we can't get to Pep and Klopp. I know that already, guys. I know we're a million miles away from competing at the highest level. But what I will say is we can compete enough to be not getting battered week in, week out, not having a style of play, not having an identity, you know what I mean? Like not winning cups. Like you don't need to be rockets. FA Cup. You're telling me FA Cups are the cups that are, that you can get. You have to be this unbelievable team. No, you don't.
True. No,
we play underdog football. Like we're
exactly.
We play underdog football every time against the big teams, against Arsenal, against even Chelsea put up a better fight against City, against the big teams than we do. Even Chelsea do. They're a mid-table club. We're a mid-table club. If you look at the goals against goals, we're basically a mid-table club, and this is after spending $400 million. If you look at Arteta's spending in these first couple of seasons, he didn't spend much. He was getting rid of all the deadwood. He actually didn't spend much. And then after he started spending, you saw them climb up the ladder a bit. There's nothing I can even hang on to. Like I'm trying to be, even if I try to be positive about tonight, what can we hang on to that go, I really like this about him. He's done this really well. Like, what is it? I can't think of even one or two things that I really like about him.
Bro, the underdog thing, bro. Like, honestly, like, playing against Man City, at Etihad, it's like, when you're playing against your older brother or your cousin on FIFA, and you're going to lose. Like, you're not really trying to win, you're just trying to not get battered. We're going there just trying to not get battered, get the ball, pass it about. But we know ultimately we're gonna lose. Like it's sad, bro. It's very sad, bro. And I can't lie to you. We need to change that. I don't know how it's gonna be, but Ten Hag has to go, man. Sorry, Mr. B, bro. Ten Hag's got to go first.
Yeah. By the way, this comment here, big up AJ says the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually speaks his mind and doesn't just give out PR answers in it. You feel me? I want him to. If he's gonna talk, you got to talk fully in it. Tell me why
he weren't, bro.
Right?
He weren't, bro.
Yeah,
he's gonna. Yeah. It's a lot of PR spin. He's gonna do a lot of PR spin. You know who he talks to? Honestly, Andy Minton. He does interviews with Andy Minton. He talks to him privately. Yeah. He talks to him honestly. Yeah. He remember when he came out and he goes, I asked a couple of players to be captain and they rejected being captain. Do you remember that? He said that 3-4 months ago. Yeah. One of them was Rashford, definitely, you know. But he goes, some players think they're bigger than they. He does not like Rashford. He goes, some players think they're bigger than they are. He was talking about Rashford, like but he won't come out. He's one of those guys that he'll talk privately, but publicly he'll just say the company line, man.
Also, this is an advertisement for his job, innit? Like, let's be honest. This will help him find a job as well. You know what I mean? Because obviously he's been out of a job for 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? So it's something.
Ten Hag's making him look good. Let's be honest. The best advertisement for his job is being Ten Hag.
I can't lie to you. This is what's crazy. People are doing revisionism about Ole because it's so bad. It's like going back to your ex just because your current girlfriend is not doing the job or not doing the business. You know what I mean?
So true.
You know what I mean? She's the ex for a reason, man. So everyone get a grip and move on. Get a grip, guys. Honestly,
what do you mean? Stop talking about Ole? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man. Let's stop this discourse.
I miss him, bro. I really do, man.
I get it. We can talk about tactically. Tactically, I can say, yeah, cool. You know, the manager Ole had better counter-attacking, aspects and whatnot. You know, I can agree with that. If you want to talk tactically, but this idea of, yo, man, Ole was better than Ten Hag and Ole was, bro, it just makes it kind of like, it makes you realize that why are we still backing this manager then? If you're looking backwards, but then you're saying, oh, well, the manager deserves it. Bro, come on, you can't live in both worlds, man. You can't. Big up Kel says, I feel like if they fire what does that say?
The manager, the players win again. If they fire the manager, the players win again.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought there was emojis meant to be saying. Big up Saeed yourself, love the show. Big up to you, Kel, man. I appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. 4-1 versus Watford. When your ex cheated, but your current girl cheating more. Boy, that's... All right, listen. You're getting a bit deep there, man. Big up Rand says, Ole was clear of Ten Hag, not a compliment to Ole either. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it, bro. Like, that's what it needs. Because Ole put us through some dark days. Old Trafford, 5-0 against Liverpool, 4-1 at Watford. You know what I mean? Games where it was training ground against Man City.
9-0 Southampton. Was it 9-0 Southampton?
Yeah. One thing he did do, was batter teams when he needed to batter teams.
Yeah.
Ten Hag has... You know what's mad about Ten Hag? He's only got one win where he scored 3 or more goals. 2 wins, sorry.
I know.
4 or more goals. Real Betis and Chelsea last year. And that is it.
That's bad.
No other team is hammered.
That's bad.
A couple of 3-0s here and there, maybe. But other than that, no one's battered. Not battered, no team. Like a 6-7-0. Battered. You know, Arsenal. 3 in a row.
Not even close.
We struggled with Arsenal. Sheffield United, yeah. We struggled with Sheffield United.
It's crazy,
Arsenal
isn't it?
battering them.
Everyone batters them, bro. Everyone batters them, except us, bro. It's peak. Everyone batters them, man.
Even Burnley, everybody batters Burnley. What are we doing against them? Like, we're not even close to scoring 4 or 5 goals. Like, it's not we were unlucky, we had a lot of shots and stuff, and then we didn't score. We're not even close. It's not even like, next time we'll get it. It's shambolic.
But you know what is it? Even Newport had so many shots against us, bro. Newport County had was it over 20 shots? That is sackable, bro.
20 shots.
It's sackable, bro. That's sackable, bro. What are they League 1, League 2? Come on, man. Let's be serious here. Mr. B.
Let me ask you this. If Ten Hag's on the market as a manager, who hires you? Which big clubs in the world? Because that's how you know if you've got a good manager, yeah? Say he's on the market tomorrow. Which big club would hire Ten Hag as his manager? Maybe Dortmund at the most? Do you think Dortmund would go for him?
Maybe Chelsea if you're lucky.
Ajax,
if you're lucky.
Ajax. I think Ajax, man.
Back to
You think
Ajax.
back to Ajax?
Back to Ajax, man. He's going back to Ajax. That's what's happening. Back to Ajax,
Leipzig? Maybe Leipzig, a club like
Nah,
that?
Nah,
You don't reckon?
Nope.
They're in a big club,
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you.
You
Dortmund.
reckon his reputation is damaged, yeah?
You know what it is? He won't get a big job, though. He won't get a Bayern Munich. He won't get them kind of clubs. I
No
don't think he
way,
will.
no way.
He won't get them clubs because they'll realize, yo, man, you failed at United, bro. You get me? Like, they've seen what you did, bro. So maybe a cup. But then again, Ajax was his level. You know what I mean? And we propelled him to be this kind of guy. So I don't know. We'll see, man.
But
But
you know
listen,
what is though, bro?
all we know. Yeah, go on. No,
like,
go for it. Go for it.
You know how we're talking about the Zerbi, like, oh, the Zerbi's so good, it's tactically amazing. Like, we did the same thing about Ten Hag when he was at Ajax. We were like, yeah, look at Ajax team in the Champions League. We need Ten Hag. He comes in now and look what happened, bro. It's a vicious cycle, brother. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I hear you.
Do you get me?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, we're gonna end the show here, man. Brilliant show. Brilliant. Views, late vibes. You know what I mean? We're giving you the show, man. It's been a good one. Make sure you don't like the video, people, man. Let's get them likes up if you can. Let's see what the current likes are. We've had 1,000 people throughout. 546. Let's get to 600 before we wrap up. Mr. B, definitely get you back on, man. Even though you're on with that 10 hours and what it is. We love the opinions, man. We love the back and forth, man. So big up, man. Let them know where they can find you, what you do on your other channel and whatnot.
We got our channel, Man United Agenda. We do a show every day. We do watch-alongs. We do reactions. We got a couple of quiz shows. You can find me on. Well, if you do the Man United Agenda on Twitter, you'll find me, Mr. B, on Twitter as well. Though I don't really use that too much. Save the cussing for the Man United Agenda, please. Leave the Mr. B one for my family first. No, cheers.
Now, big up, man. Real Kofi B, man. You can find them on TikTok. Let them know what you do on TikTok, man.
Yes, on TikTok, I do a lot of series called the 10v10 series. It's very good. If you like goal comparisons, I'm there. Also, Instagram, the Real Kofi B. All socials, Real Kofi B, man. I'm there.
Oh, man. Big up to you, man. And Ange, Australia. Big up, man.
Thanks, boys. Good chat. I feel like we have real authentic chats on here. So, and it's good to have people that are Ten Hag in crowd because there's not a lot of them around at the moment.
Apologies for that.
No. I like chatting to people with different opinions. So it's good. Thanks, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good chat.
Unless you're Marcel. Yeah, I mean, and then it's someone different. I big up myself. Man. Listen, people, I'll be back tomorrow for the Mandem Talk. I'm also going to be on Rance's channel as well, so make sure you tune in for that one as well. And yeah, man, listen, we'll find out tomorrow. Tyrone and Neji. I don't know how they're going to survive tomorrow. On the Mandem Talk, Neji and Tyrone is courtroom. We might have to call it courtroom tomorrow. Might have to be courtroom settings. These guys must pay for their crimes, yeah. But now apparently it's Arteta. Trust the process. That's what I'm hearing from Neji. So he's gonna have to talk tomorrow. But listen, people, like the video on your way out and have a good evening. Have a good night. We're out.